Hey guys, welcome to our blending lesson today. So today's January 13th and it's Unit 3, Week 1. So all this week we have been talking about the long A sound, like the middle sound that you hear in the word train, train. And so that is basically taking the short A sound, which says a, and now A can also say a, the long sound. All right, so before we get started with the blending, let's go ahead and do our high frequency words. So of course, if you know the word, say it. If not, repeat, practice, and help yourself own the words. After, every, ago, how, happy, once, water, green, way, some, today, now, grow, together, from, any, old, people, buy, soon. So this is buy like you're going to pay for, you're going to buy something. Soon, work, done, boy, girl, so, upon, should, pretty, away, and why. Excellent. Thank you so much if you're participating. All right, first word. Wake. Your turn. Wake. Wake. So you notice the middle sound in the word wake is a. Wake. Okay. So that's that long A sound. And this week we're working on the A blank E. So that just means that there's a letter in between that A and the E. So let's see. W says what? A blank E says a, way. K says ache, wake. Next word. Late. Your turn. Late. L says blank E makes that long A sound like train, A. T says ate, late. So it's almost as though this E is just absolutely silent. If you can just remember that this A can say A. But as soon as that A has its buddy E, it no longer is going to make the A sound like apple. Now it says long A, which is its name. It just says A. Ate, late. And so like I said before, it's almost like blending backwards because you'd say this sound, A, and then the ta. All right. Next word, gaze. Your turn. Gaze. Gaze. So it's like a long look. G says ga. A blank E says A. Z says z. Ga. A's. Gaze. Next word. Ape. Your turn. A. Ape. This word is just A blank E, which says A. P says ape. So you know an ape is kind of like a kind of monkey. So this is one. This is one monkey, one ape. So if I want to talk about how I see a whole bunch of apes, I have to add an S to the end of this word to make it plural. So apes. And so of course you're going to blend it, but you have to have it with the S there. Apes. Next word. Lane. Your turn. Lane. L says A blank E. A. There. And says o, a, lane. Next word. Game. Your turn. G, a, game. G says ga. A blankie. A. Ga. A. M says ga. A. Game. Next word. Plan. Your turn. Pull. Ah. Plan. So in the middle of the word plan, I hear ah. So I don't hear that long A. It's one of those L blends at the beginning. We can put P and L together. Pull. Pull. A says ah. N says pull. Pull. Ah. Plan. So watch what happens when I add an E to this word. So pull. We're going to have the pull still. We're going to have that A still. And we're going to have that N still. Okay. So right now, pull and plan. So I'm going to add an E here. So I'm given A, it's buddy E. So in this word plan, A does not have his buddy E. So this A says ah, like apple, the short A. But as soon as you give that E to the A, as soon as he's got that buddy, it becomes the long A sound. It no longer says ah, now it says A. Pull a plane. Plane. Okay. Next word. Van. Your turn. Van. Van. So in this word van, I only hear ah. I hear that short A sound. And van. All right. And so now we're going to do some contractions. So we've talked a little bit about contractions and how it is two words that come together to make one word. You replace it with an apostrophe. So the word is not. Your turn. Is not. So I'm going to turn those words is not into the word isn't. So when you say is not and then isn't, you don't hear that ah in the word not anymore. So is not. Okay? So if I take those two words, I get rid of that O and replace it with an apostrophe, I have the word isn't. And it's just a shorter way of writing two words. So I will take is. So see how I'm putting them together, I-S-N, I-S-N. But instead of that O, I'm going to take that away and I'm going to put an apostrophe. So apostrophe T tells us that it is a contraction. Isn't, same meaning as is not. All right, so we'll do one more. We're going to do hasn't. So hasn't is a combination of two words. Has not. So this week we're just working on contractions with the word not. So in this case, hasn't, the word has, okay, and then we're going to use the word not, but we're going to replace it with an apostrophe. So we will no longer have that. We will still have our N. Sorry, pardon my boo-boo. We will still have our N, just like in the word isn't. Get rid of that. Sorry. Only apostrophe instead of the O in the word not. So hasn't, same as has not. All right, so let's go ahead and read our blending board. Wake, late, gaze, apes. Your turn. Thank you. Lane, game, plan, plane. Your turn. Wonderful. Van, is not, isn't, hasn't. Your turn. Wonderful. Thank you. Let's go ahead and do a sentence. Jay says, ja. A blankie makes that long A sound. A, ja, A. And says, ja, ain, Jane. So this is a name. So that's two reasons at the beginning of our sentence is capitalized. J at the beginning of a sentence is always going to be a capital letter. And since it's a name, the J in Jane will be capitalized. All right. Number CH from last week, the cheese card. Ch. A blankie says that A. Ch. A. Che. S says S. Ch. Ace. Chase. So Jane Chase. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't even sound like it could be a correct sentence. Jane chases. Chases. Okay, so we'd have to have that S there. And of course, you're going to blend it the same. Chases. Chases. T says ta. Oh, we know this is going to be a name because it's a capital T. So if we know it's going to be a name, we also know it's going to be a noun. A blankie makes the long A sound. A, ta, A. T says ta, ta, ate, tate. And high frequency word to. High frequency word the. L says ol. A blankie makes that long A, ol, A, lay. T says ta, ol, ate, late, late. Oopsie, Miss Porter made another boo-boo. It happens. Okay, so we're still gonna have ol. Okay, we're still gonna have a blankie. Ol, A, lay. Instead of a T, Miss Porter should put a K. K says ka, ol, ake, lake. See, that's how I caught my mistake because it didn't make sense in our sentence. Jane chases Tate to the lake. That doesn't make sense at all. So Jane chases Tate to the lake. Your turn. Thank you so much. All right. So we need punctuation at the end of our sentence. So in this case, it's just a telling sentence. It's a statement. So we're just going to give it a period. We don't need an exclamation point. We don't need a question mark. This doesn't have an answer. It's just telling us what's happening. So nouns and verbs. So remember, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So in our sentence, we have two people. We have Jane and we have Tate. So we know that those two are nouns. Okay? And we have one place, which is the lake. And that is where Jane and Tate are going. Okay? So now we need our verb. Every sentence has to have a noun and a verb. And most sentences will have more than one noun. And some sentences will even have more than one verb. So in this sentence, Jane chases Tate to the lake. What is the action being done? Chases. Okay. Now remember, the noun is doing the action. So in this case, we have 3 nouns. So which one of these nouns do you think is doing that action? Is the lake chasing? Nope. Is Tate doing the chasing? No, he's not. Jane is doing the chasing. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your focus and participation. We'll see you later.